Hey guys, it's Jessica from Audacity, and I am here with the one and only Niles Palames, who is, y'all, he's interviewing us from Spain right now.
What's up,
Like,
guys? It's good to see you guys. It's been so long. You guys probably know me if you've been with the Audacity crew for a minute. I've written articles, we've done interviews, we've done the whole 9 yards. But right now, it's a good homecoming. I haven't seen Jess in a minute, and it's good to be back with Audacity. So what's up, y'all?
the OGs know it.
They
The
do, they
OGs
do.
know. So we're going to get into this. First of all, guys, happy Black History Month. This is going to be the first of many interviews with Black creators, business owners, freelancers, you name it, all month long. So get
That's
ready to
right.
get empowered, get ready to get inspired, and get ready to hear stories from various perspectives because, as we know, Blackness is not a monolith. And if anybody knows anything about that, it is Niles. So tell us where you are, first things first, because we are not in Atlanta anymore. We are not in Kansas anymore. We are not
No,
in New York anymore.
no, no,
Where are
no.
you?
Right now, I'm in a city called Torrevieja, Spain. So it's the basically southern tip of a state called Valencia. It's on the west coast of Spain, right on the Mediterranean. I came out here for a program through the Spanish government called NALCAP. So I'm a teaching assistant here, a language assistant. I help
Mhm.
students in high school learn how to speak and basically understand English. So yeah, southern Spain. It's a little cold right now. Normally it's warm. I'm outside on my porch. I got my gloves on, but have to do it. The sunlight is best out here.
The
So
sunlight is beautiful on you. Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. I'm over here with
But
my little like,
y'all seeing clouds. Y'all seeing clouds.
yes.
So it's cloudy. It's cloudy right now.
Even when it's cloudy outside, the sun still rises and sets. That's what I always say.
Always a silver lining, baby.
Always a silver lining. So, why are we here? Like, what spurred your decision to leave the US? Like, I'm sure everybody can speculate whatever they want, but I want to know, like, why
For
you want
sure.
to go. Because this is coming off of the heels of your last article with Audacity, Same Old Sunset, where you're basically sharing with everybody, hey, bye.
I'm out of
So,
here.
how
Yeah.
did we get here? What spurred this decision?
So I think the first and most important thing in my journey is deciding to step out on faith and step out on my ability as a young man to kind of chart my own course in life. If you guys have been following the articles, Same Old Sunset, Black in Corporate America, living in Middle America, even going back and back further, you would kind of notice a trend. I had a really difficult time coming out of grad school and finding a stable position for work, finding meaningful work, and finding work that would be well compensating for my lifestyle. Things were difficult, very difficult, and I decided at that point that I had to make a choice, right? I had family members, and all of this was done with good intentions, telling me, oh, you can go to the military, or maybe you could work at Home Depot. And, my thing is, none of those fit for me at all.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, there has to be another way. I visited Spain 2 years ago now with a few friends. We did a Euro trip. I came to Barcelona. And when I came, we did also Germany and the UK. But something about the Spanish culture I just really connected with. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm coming back. I found this program, I applied, and I said, we're doing it. I hopped out on faith. I didn't know anything about the Torre Vieja. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know anybody over here, but I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. Because as a young black man in America, there's only so many chances and opportunities you have, right?
Yeah.
Before you get jammed up or caught up in something. And I was like, I gotta make this, I gotta fly. I gotta fly. And I did. And I did.
Do you feel like your life has exponentially improved or changed in a way since making this choice? Is it what you expected?
Let's start with the personal improvement. Absolutely. In terms of like personal development, I have shown myself things that I believed were true, but I didn't put to the test, right? To be able to pick up and move to a different country, you don't even know, right? The things that you will go through when embarked on such a journey. They also tell you something like, "Oh, you don't have community; you'll have to do it on your own." It's a moniker in like the black male, not even just black male, but masculinity in general, in that hetero
Yeah.
sphere. To oh, you got to make it on your own. You ain't got nobody behind you. I had community. I had many people support me in this journey, whether it's through my GoFundMe or even words of encouragement to push that. So yes, my life has improved in a few ways. Coming here though, it's been a challenge. There have been a lot of new things that I've had to sort of engage with,
Yeah.
new ways of seeing things. So absolutely, absolutely, things have changed. But I am very much an optimistic person, and there's no challenge that I can't overcome. So let's do it.
And that's that. And that's, I think a lot of people try to like assume that like the expat lifestyle is very like rosy and easy and everything like
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
while yes, it's still a very beautiful thing to be able to do and it's a brave thing to do, I think a lot of people kind of miss the fact that it's going to be hard, like any big
Oh
change
yeah.
that you're making.
Oh yeah.
And, a lot of people also miss the complications that come with being Black when going to a new country because
Hmm.
anti-Blackness is global. And so
Hmm.
people think that they're escaping certain things in America. You might be, but then there's other things that like, you're kind of trading them off. So like, do
Sure.
you feel, as a Black man in this situation now, and you're not only are you Black, but you're also first gen. Do you feel that being both a first gen American and now an immigrant adds an extra layer of complexity to this experience?
Completely, completely. I would speak to my grandparents, the two who are still alive, my grandmothers, both maternal grandmothers, and I would tell them doing this feels as almost honorary to their choice and decision to come to the United States. So I have a historical connection to sort of picking up and moving. And it's also like I'm paying homage to that choice. Their decision to leave where they were for economic reasons, social reasons, whatever it may have been in Guyana and Trinidad, and to go to the United States gave me the opportunity to be able to now come to Spain. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
having that US passport. And that's the next thing, right? So being an American here, not just being a black person, because there are black people here, and we'll get into that shortly, but it's like being an American here is
yeah.
quite the thing. So absolutely, absolutely, the experience is interesting.
That's a really beautiful thing. When you say that your choices were empowered because of their choices, that because a lot of people will have the mentality like, oh, like my family sacrificed so much to be in this country, I should make the best of it and everything. Like, no, like they
Mm-hmm.
sacrificed so that you can make the choice now as to what you can do next and what's going to be best for you. And that's
One hundred
beautiful.
percent, one
That's
hundred
beautiful.
percent.
It's very you're
And
not only are
let
your
me be,
parents proud of you, but your ancestors are proud of you.
thank you. I really
Something in
appreciate
my
that.
spirit just told me to tell you
Let me
that.
be very clear on that. It was the women in my family who made those choices. The women, my grandmothers on both sides. They are the ones who did that.
And that's on period. And that's on
Exactly.
Coretta Scott King. Okay.
That's that's right. That's right. That's right.
So, but speaking about like your family and like the community around you that that's been able to like lift you up to this next level, if you could have taken one person with you on this journey to Spain, we know that obviously there are things that we have to do alone, but if you had been able to take one person with you, who would it have been?
Sorry, there's a car passing, and I hope the noise is not too loud. I hope you guys
It's
can still
good.
hear me clearly. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we can't hear
That
anything. It was noise
person,
cancellation.
that person would have been my brother, my little brother. We are only 17 months apart,
Mm,
but we have always been like this.
mm,
And there's never been anything in my life that I've gone through that he has not gone through, or vice versa. And to be so far away now, not only geographically, but time wise, I'm 6 hours ahead of the US on the East Coast, nine from the West, right? It makes it difficult for us to continue to have that connection as we once did. We always will have this connection, but it's like there's so many things I wish he could see. Like to open himself up and to see things that are possible. Because coming from where we come from, and again, if you've read any of my articles, you know what
yeah,
life has been like many times
yeah.
for me and for my brother. I wish he could see physically, hear what things could be. So it'd be my brother. Absolutely. No questions asked.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry.
No,
Okay.
don't do that.
Sorry, I'm
Don't
a
do
big
that.
sister, so I'm like, ah! Okay, it's happening. Wait, 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 wait. It's happening.
It's
Okay.
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Ooh, yeah, because I 100% obviously like we're not here for me to like agree or disagree with you, but like
Hmm.
that's how I feel
You
about
know.
everything. Like, whenever
You
I
know.
make a move in life, like I want to take my sister.
Yep. Yep. You know.
Damn it, Niles. Oh God. I see a little
Hey,
pinch coming behind your eyes too. I'm not the only one over here.
don't worry. It's here. I know. Don't worry. It's
Oh
here.
God. Okay. Well, is there anything that you'd like to say to him? right now in this interview if he sees this?
You always got a spot, bro. You always got a spot with me. You know
Oh. Okay, so something a little bit
that.
more logistical and not emotional.
Yeah.
What can you
Sure.
tell us about the process of getting to Spain and then being able to stay there? Is that like a secret process, or can we tell people
Um,
stuff?
no, I wouldn't say it's a secret process because the program that I'm in is still open. It's called NowCap, and actually, the renewal cycle or the opening for the applications are coming around again in February or
Okay.
March. So I would say it's about a good 6 month process. It might start in February, you might end in September. I don't know how many months that is, might be 6 or 7. But you start by an application. You have to have a certain list of criteria, obviously, a bachelor's degree, and then a few other things to be able to come into this program. They may choose or not choose to accept you. If they accept you, then you have to go through the process of submitting an FBI background check so that you can legally come to this country. You have to set out a few other things, visa requirements that you'll have to get so that your visa application can be approved so then you can move. I'll tell you
Hmm.
something, it's very tedious. No one is holding your hand during this process. And so you have to be on your stuff to
Yeah.
make sure that you're following everything by deadlines, your paperwork is correct. Because if something is missing or you just don't have it, you won't be coming. Period. So
Yeah.
it's a very tedious process. Absolutely. And the process the again, for those of you who don't know, it's called NALCAP, but that is North American Language and Culture Assistance Program. So you can search that up to the Spanish government.
Nice.
We'll include any links so that you guys can have those on to
Yes,
read
we
through later.
will. We'll put them
Yeah.
right there in the what's it? The comments? Yeah, the description, the video description. This is going on
Yeah.
YouTube. This is going on probably LinkedIn, and this will also go on Instagram, or clips will go on Instagram and TikTok. Um, So it sounds like the process is very tedious, but not necessarily challenging as long as you keep your affairs in order as you go along. Sounds like
Right.
it's a lot of hurry up and wait and make sure you have everything done. One mistake and you're screwed and you gotta start over, it sounds like. But would you, knowing that this is the step that you're taking, like where you are now, would you
Hmm.
recommend this for other Black people? A lot of Black folks are kind of thinking about doing similar things to what you're doing and leaving.
Ooh,
But would you
that's.
recommend this for, let's say, someone like me to do? Maybe
I'm
not
gonna
me,
say.
somebody
I'm gonna
else.
say this. I'm gonna say this with the most. I don't even know what the word is. It depends on your privilege. Period.
Mm,
This program, and I'll tell you this: we get paid $1,000 a month. At sometimes for the first 2 to 3 months last semester, I wasn't paid. I wasn't paid until December, which means I had to float my my rent, electricity bills, water bills, everything, and rely on family until I was paid because of the Spanish government. The Spanish government here is very slow and very backwards at times.
whew,
You don't know this going into it. They don't tell you this. I'm going to be very clear here, and I've said this many times. This program is designed for wealthy white people who are to come
mm-hmm,
here on their gap year and live their
mm-hmm,
best. This is not a
mm-hmm.
design program for immigrants or people who need to get away. No, 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 no. So it depends on your privilege. So will I offer and say this program should be for every black person? No, it's not. It
Got
definitely
it.
is not. But what I definitely believe most and all black people should do if they have the chance is experience the expat life. If you can find a way that matches where you are circumstantially in life right now, that you can afford to do that, do it. Do it. I
Nice.
promise you, it might be the best experience of your life. Period.
I always tell folks like it's a good idea to just try living in another country, even if you don't stay,
Yep.
because I mean, I did a study abroad, so obviously that's like a more privileged position that I'm coming from with that.
Yeah.
But I lived in Milan for 4 months, came back
Yeah.
a whole different person. And when I say a different person, it
Mhm.
just, I was a lot
Mhm.
more self-reliant. I was a lot more independent. I almost sang
Absolutely.
the Star Spangled Banner and kissed the dirty floor of the JFK because because there was
No.
like now mind y'all
Yeah.
it was 2015. This was a different era of America,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
just it gives you it really does tell you a little bit more about yourself and where you want to be. And
Absolutely.
like when I came back I was like, oh, I am an American, and that's okay. I got
That's
lots
right.
of culture.
That's right.
I am
That's right.
Southern. Like my
That's
people
right.
invented
That's
hip
right.
hop. Like I got lots of
That's
culture. Okay,
right.
but thank you for being honest with people about that because I
I'm
think
always, I'm
like I said, like
always.
I think
I have
expat
to.
lifestyle is so romanticized, and
Right.
there is a very romantic thing about that. You can romanticize anything to make it wonderful, but thank you for being honest and telling the
Of
people.
course. Let me tell you, like there are pros and cons, and if we leave
Hmm.
that aside, some of the pros that exist would be food prices are cheaper here. The
Hmm.
way of
And
life
cleaner.
is a bit easier here, right? So just to give you that.
Yeah. So moving away from more of like the, I guess like the money and the privilege perspective, right? And moving
Right.
more into how your blackness has been showing up
Mm-hmm.
in this new space. Um, we all know that racism and anti-blackness is global. We all know that.
Yep.
But and I'm, we said these questions ahead of time, guys, but it's about to get very sensitive. So just trigger warning if these are things that are soft spots for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how has that shown up in Spain in your experience? Because certainly something didn't happen by now.
Yeah, many times. Trigger warning, sexual assault. Um, but it all boils down to the idea of ignorance, pure ignorance. Like, and it's not so much an unwillingness as there is more so just no access to it, this information.
Hmm.
It's different here, but it's not that this is some kind of like alien place. This is also the foundations of race. When you think of how race was established through the Catholic Church as this idea of who has clean blood versus who doesn't, conversion, who's civilized versus who's not, that started here. You
Hmm.
understand? So
Yeah.
those trends are still pervasive and prevalent in the society. Now, I teach in schools, so I'm in high school, and there is obviously a massive fanaticism with Black culture. They love rap music. One of the first questions kids asked me was, "Do you know King Von?" And I'm like, "No, no, I
Who is
don't."
that?
But this is what they see from American media that's being pushed out here, right?
Hmm.
Again, it's not so much an unwillingness as there is little to no access to proper information as to what can enlighten these folks, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, yeah, it's funny. I thought about it. It's like I wrote an article years ago called "I'm Not Sure." We did a video called "I'm Not Sure." Are you educated? And I
Hmm.
ended it like I'm not your educated, but I might have to be. So, like
Well, and
that's
in the case
yeah.
with kids too, I would say that like, their
Well, but I
parents
mean
might
with
know
the
better, but the
I mean
kids,
with the adults, with the adults. I
yeah.
mean with the adults. Like,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, these are adults. And let me give you guys a quick history lesson, real quick, because I used to think it was a malicious thing. Before we got on the phone or we started
Hmm.
recording this call, we spoke about Martin Luther King Day, which is coming up, in the United States federally recognized holiday. And part of my role here is to share cultural experiences from the US for these students. I had shown them a photo of Martin Luther King. I said, "Do you know who this is?" No one in the class knew who that was, right? And at first, I thought that was a malicious sort of like the parents are just not teaching their children this. That's not it. Spain was under a dictatorship until 1970. The
Mm.
information they have was literally sanitized. How can you share information about a civil rights movement to a country
Yeah.
that's under a dictatorship? That's like teaching
Right.
them to fight for their rights when
Right.
the dictator doesn't want that. I'm not trying to excuse anyone. Hear me clearly because it's been
Right.
50 years since that point, right?
Well, in
But
300 years of colonization before that, like
right, ex-
I would argue also that like, they can't tell these people the truth without telling on themselves.
exactly, exactly. So ignorance, and it's
Yeah.
quite interesting. But whew, we'll get into some things. We'll get into some things.
Woo! So, we're talking about how, so guys, we're recording this. It is January 17th right now. And MLK Day is coming up, like we mentioned. And what's also coming up, sadly, on the same day, is the presidential inauguration here in the US. Um, and obviously, with that is coming a lot of new immigration policies, including trying to get rid of naturalization, where kids who basically first gen kids can be stateless. Like that's the easiest way,
Absolutely.
layman's terms of saying this. You are first gen and you
Yep.
are in that danger. Does the incoming administration's proposed policies give you cause for concern as to how that could potentially affect your Spanish immigration status? Does it have to do with anything? Is that something you
Absolutely.
should worry about?
Absolutely. I have considered here appealing to the government and asking them for some kind of asylum based on that, right? Because we don't know how
Yeah,
far the Trump
they'll go.
administration is going to go and say maybe it's kids whose parents came in 1995. It can go all the way back to 1970. We don't know when he's going to put that date into effect. So it
Right.
could be myself, but it's not only the Trump administration. Anti-immigration settlement sentiment is it exists here in Spain as well. They have a
Mm.
very weird relationship with the West African migrants. Hold on.
Is that a lawnmower?
No, it's a mic. It's a bonus motorcycle. Motorcycle.
Oh,
Ain't no lawns over here.
all right.
Ain't no lawns over here. Unless you're in the nicer communities, obviously. But like, it's mainly apartments and stuff. I live right by the water, so it's just like apartments and stuff out here.
Oh,
So
right. You have a flat. Yes.
I got, yeah, I got a little apartment. So, but yeah, so it's also the Spanish government.
Hmm.
Um, Recently in power here, there's a party called Vox, which would be similar to our conservative party, the Republicans in the U.S., who are pushing this sort of anti-immigration, immigrants being crime narrative, and that is hurting a lot of people's chances to stay here long term. It's even affecting this Now Cap program, where they are considering closing or lessening the amount of people who can apply and come here, right? I'm talking about funding. I'm talking about our monthly stipend, all of that.
Right.
So from both ends, it's concerning. Absolutely.
Ooh, okay. I didn't know that part about Spain. Like I knew that Spain probably had like some hardcore sentiments about immigration just by because they have hardcore sentiments about tourism to begin
Right.
with. So
Right. Right.
that's we like walked onto a rally when I was in Barcelona. We almost walked into some kind of what looked like a far right rally. Because
Exactly.
why is
Right.
everyone's head shaved? Why is everybody wearing the same shirt? Why are we stopping traffic and throwing ladders up walls? Like
Yep. Yep. And you know what's funny? Barcelona, that's a city, and the state, and I'm kind of using this in American terms, would be Catalonia.
Catalonia.
That state is one of the first states that's pushing for removing this NowCap program in general. So that's an example for you of kind of
Mm-hmm.
how tricky navigating this could be. There are other accesses to get into this country legally, whether it's the
Mm-hmm.
digital nomad visa or work visa, but it's getting a bit tougher. Absolutely.
Well, I will be praying for you and hopeful that that will be
Thank you.
something that y'all can at least continue. Like, is it going to affect current people as well? Like, could they potentially
As
say,
of
"Hey, it's over,
no,
go home"?
no, as of right now, no. None of us have
Okay.
heard that.
Okay, good.
Renewals are opening in February, which I'm planning to submit again. So yeah, no.
Okay, good. Good. So, because I know we
Whispers in
don't
the wind at the whispers in the wind at the moment. So yeah.
good. Awesome. Awesome
Mhm.
sauce. So, well, with all that being said, like it sounds like you guys also have like a nice sense of community over there among the expats and the teachers in your program. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So,
Here in Torrevieja, there are, I would say, a good maybe 30 Americans, and maybe 10 or so we kind of meet up regularly, hang out, go out, play pool kind of stuff. So they're cool. Yeah.
that's good. So have you been able to find community with other Black people in the area as well? I assume
No,
there are some people in
no,
your program who are Black. Oh no,
no, no.
nope.
Uh,
Like, is it because no one's there, or is
I
it?
am beware of two things: race and nationality. I am the only Black American in this program in the city,
Mm,
and actually in the city that I know of. Right, I don't know of any other Black American from the states who is
yeah.
living in Puerto Rico. Period. Now, before I left the United States in June or July, there were race riots in the U.S. in the UK. I don't know what happened, but they came back to the UK and they were ready to attack anyone who looked like they were Muslim, Arab, Black. Period. They were going to attack them. I created a group online called Blocks and Pox, which is Black Oxes and People of Color, right? Which is a WhatsApp group that connects over 100 Black Oxes across Spain. So I'm in contact with educators who are in Madrid, other parts of Valencia, Malaga, Murcia, all over the place, right? And
Hmm.
so we have a group chat that we're always discussing politics, education, different things in that gives me that sense of community so that I never really feel alone. There are
That's good.
some New Yorkers, some people from Atlanta, some people. There's a girl from Atlanta, from Gwinnett. Like I'm like, bro, what? Yeah, so she's out here.
Love how your accent changes every time you name a new city too.
You know what I'm saying? Just goes all. I'm speaking
New
three different
York,
languages at this point.
Atlanta.
Exactly, it goes like three different at this point. But yeah, so that has been key in my survival here because if I did not
Yeah,
have them or a place to bounce ideas off of and say, yo, am I tripping? Or yo, look how good this is, I think it would be much harder for me to
yeah,
really merge into life here. Having them it's like my rock. In this city specifically, there are four types of black people. I'll start. There are the migrants, the refugees, African migrants or refugees who have come seeking refuge from whatever
right.
country. They will sell, I will say, products, counterfeit products on the boardwalk to make their money, their income. The women who are not selling products will be braiding hair on the boardwalk. You know,
Hmm.
you can see them. Those are the migrants. The second would be the Afro Latinos. These are people who come from Latin speaking or Spanish speaking countries, Colombia, Venezuela, Cuba, Dominican Republic, who are living in Spain now through some kind of like heritage, maybe colonial heritage process. They're here.
Hmm.
Then you have the Black Europeans who have been here, right? So Black French people, Black people from the UK, right, who are part of the EU but are living in Spain. And then last but not least, you have us, the Black Americans, who are here. Those are the four types of Black people who
Hmm.
exist in this country, right? Or at least in this city, in Torrevieja right now.
Got it. That's why I always tell folks blackness is not a monolith.
It's not. It's not. And so if
Yeah,
you ask about finding community, it's like more
it's
or
different.
less. My
Yeah,
community is on my WhatsApp. Jess, can you give
yeah.
me
All right, and these are the last. Like, it's a combination of two questions. So, um, what do you miss most about home, if anything, if you're homesick at all? And then,
absolutely
how do you continue to enjoy elements of home and your culture in a new place?
for sure? So the things I miss the most are the people, Black culture, the food, being able just to say like I don't know. It's in the United States. Blackness is a community that does not exist here. I just explained there's four types. That's broken. When I go to the Afro Latino barbershop, the Colombians, yeah, they're black, but they're not my people. You understand? Like in
Yeah,
America, we have that. Y'all have that united front, which is beautiful. So that's what I miss the most. Obviously, food, bruh. Like when I tell you, bro, people think Spanish food is good. Oh my god! And listen, don't attack me, Spanish people. Do not attack me. I'm just used to something different. When I tell you, if I could just go to somebody's house and get a plate right now, bro, like it
it's
would
not the
make life
same.
so
Yeah,
different.
like
So
Spanish food
different.
is good, but it's not the same as our food. Like, it's just not. I always say, like, when people are like, "You should just move. You should move," and I'm like, "What am I gonna eat? Like, what am I gonna
You should
eat?"
see the amount of shit I brought a whole suitcase full of food shit, like literally. So, because I was like, I'm not going without. It
Period.
has to last.
Yeah,
And last but not least, how do I keep myself connected and attached to family? I have pictures of my family here. I have birthday cards, Christmas cards, pictures of my mom, my grandparents, people who have gone, people who are still here. I teach this in school. I share this information with my students. I want
yeah,
them to know like it's love. It's love out here. Like, I'm part of that. I'm sharing that with you. So engaging in
yeah.
that, honoring it, that's how I keep it alive.
That's
Always.
beautiful, and like, and it shows your students too. Like, not only like is there love here, but there's love in the United States still.
Absolutely.
It's a hot fucking mess, but
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a hot fucking mess if without love.
exactly.
There's a
Exactly.
reason that everyone's feeling different ways about it. It's because we're passionate, it's because we care about each other, and it's because we
Exactly.
do want things to be better. And we especially want things to be better for us as black folks, man. Like, it's beyond
Absolutely.
time. But
Absolutely. But
thank
one
you.
thing I'm learning is that we have not only do we have the nationality, we have the ability. More than you imagine. I know things might seem hard in the US, but I want you guys to remember you guys are the top of the top. You guys are leading the pack. All right. Take that with honor so that the rest of the world they see that, right? And they recognize it when they come. All right. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate it, man. It's all love, bro. Always,
Thank you
always.
so much. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you, and I'm so
Appreciate
happy that we got to do this. And guys,
it.
make sure you guys are following, liking, sharing, comment below, and drive up our algorithm. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. I'll see y'all later.